A husband has to sell his PlayStation 5 after his wife finds out it is not an air purifier. Dog napping crime rates go up in the UK during the lockdown. British Airways investigates a stewardess selling sex between flights. These are the weird stories for Tuesday on this podcast, which is called Weird AF News. Weird news from around the world, hosted by a comedian that records in a closet. Aren't you glad you're here? It's a very special experience I'm offering.
Hey, mainstream news. Listen to Weird AF News with Jonesy.
A man was forced to sell his PlayStation 5 gaming console after his wife found out it was not an air purifier. Yeah, you got to give him credit, though, for trying. A Taiwanese man had to sell his gaming system. Give a massive F for our fallen brethren, it says here in the article. Taiwanese man had to sell his gaming system this holiday. As the year comes to an end, as many of you know, the hype for the release of the new PlayStation 5 was at an all-time high. And many scalpers and hoarders quickly bought the PlayStation to then turn around and sell at a higher price. Very difficult to get this gaming system. I learned that when I approached a Target store recently. They put a sign on the door entering the Target. It basically said, "We don't have the PlayStation 5. Stop asking us for the PlayStation 5. We don't have any more. We're all out. If you want a PS5, walk away. Just walk away." Basically, that's what it said. It was very popular. This was a lot of people waiting for this to come out for the holidays. Well, for some who already had their hands on this PlayStation 5, another storm was brewing. Their wives, their girlfriends. A man from Taiwan tried to trick his wife into thinking that the PS5 was actually an air purifier for their home. Now, when I first read the title of the article, I thought, how ridiculous. Who could mistake a gaming console for an air purifier? But then I saw a photo of the PS5, and it does look like one of those standing tall air purifiers. You know, the kind we've all seen. Looks like a spaceship that's standing up on end. It looks exactly like an air purifier. Now I understand why he called it an air purifier, and I kind of understand how the wife could have been tricked for a little while. I have a hard time believing she was fooled for more than a week. Because first of all, an air purifier isn't going to make that much noise. It's just not. Honey, what is going on in there? Your air purifier is so loud. I know. It's a special one. It has sound effects like an AR-15 or a Moab. It makes laser sounds. Trust me, honey. It's a high-end air purifier. It doesn't even purify the air. Just use your imagination. This little ruse for the husband worked. However, there was an incident where a rat died inside their home. Whoa. This story took a turn. Wait a minute. A rat died in your home? Maybe not spend money on gaming systems and spend money on eliminating the rodents from your home. That seems like a better way to spend your money, dude. You get rats running around your house. So the rat dies inside their home, and sadly, the PS5 can only do so much with its latest gen hardware in terms of gaming. With its non-air purifying features, the console did nothing to mask the smell of the dead rat at home. Yeah, of course not. I love it. It's non-air purifying features. At this moment, the dead rat moment, apparently, that the wife finally found out that the air purifier was actually a gaming console. How did she not know earlier? I mean, this guy's like talking to people from around the world. She's like, "What are you doing?" "Oh, no, I just run my headset through the air purifier, and I'm talking to people in Cambodia right now." "Are you sure you're not playing a game? Is this a..." "No, honey, air purifier." According to the media, the man who bought the console had an earful from his wife. Yeah, I'd imagine. You got a dead rat in your house, by the way. You need to get rid of that. That itself is going to get you in trouble with your wife. You can't have dead rats laying around your living room. You can't have rats in your home, dude. Get rid of the rats. Afterward, the husband, of course, had to sell his PS5 at a cheap price, it says. As such, potential buyers of his PS5 naturally asked the reason for this, which then prompted a hilarious, awkward explanation of what actually happened. It does not say whether there's going to be a divorce over this PS5 or the rat. I'd imagine it would most likely happen over the rat infestation that you're not handling, sir. You got to get rid of the rats. You can't live with rats, okay? And by the way, I was thinking earlier that if this guy only had a man cave, he could play his game down there and no one would know. That's a place you can go and have your time alone and do things like, act like a child. But I mean, you can't have a man cave if you don't get rid of the rats. The cave's just going to attract more rats. You clearly have a rat infestation. Therefore, man cave's out of the question, bro. Handle the rats, man. Less money on games, more money on rat removal. Dog napping has gone way up during the lockdown. Crime gangs are stealing puppies left and right. The price of dogs and puppies have been going up in the UK since the lockdown began. This has become a great incentive for some organized crime gangs to snatch up dogs and puppies in order to sell them again. Oh boy. There's been a higher demand for dogs during the pandemic due to stay-at-home orders and quarantine forcing people to stay home. As you know, most people have been looking for companionship. And if you can't find a lover off Tinder to join you in your quarantine love shack, a lot of people are going for pets. A fish, a cat, and of course dogs, who are probably the best companions during a pandemic. Cats aren't so great because cats don't give a shit if you die during the pandemic or not. You could keel over in your kitchen and your cat would just be like, whatever, I'm going to go back in the closet and finish licking my butt. Dogs, on the other hand, depressed if you go down. Depressed. The dog will lay with you when you're dying in your deathbed. The cat has way better things to do. Dogs are the best for, companionship when you're at home during a quarantine. Of course. Also, it's an excuse to get out of the house because you walk the dog every day, right? And then when you walk the dog, you have a reason to leave the house and they can't give you a ticket. I mean, unless you're in Asia, then they can snatch your dog and kill it. I don't know why they're doing that, but they're just very anti-dog over there, it seems. But yeah, in normal places, you can walk your dog every day. It gives you a little sunshine, excuse to get out of the house, a little exercise. However, the shit has hit the fan, in the UK especially. In some areas, dog nappers, get this, they've been marking the outside of a house with chalk to indicate that there is a dog living there that they could steal. Can you imagine that? A little arrow pointing to your door saying, woof, woof, right here. Warnings have been going out to communities to stay vigilant, keep an eye on your pets. At least 40 dogs in the UK have been snatched. That is so many. What a shame. Miss Jessica Palmer had 5 puppies stolen from her back garden. Oh, goodness gracious. She was very devastated, as was her 3-year-old daughter, absolutely heartbroken. Miss Palmer was selling the puppies for £1,000 each. She says, I know they were going to go to new homes eventually anyway, but not like this. It's really traumatic for everyone. Well, it would have been traumatic anyways for your daughter for you to sell them all. So I think either way, she was going to have to deal with some separation anxiety with those puppies. But I agree. You don't know where these puppies are going. Some degenerate stole them, and who knows where they're going to bring them, you know? They might even bring them to Asia. Oh, no. I got a quote here from Wayne May from the organization called Dog Lost. Wayne says, I've been doing this for 30 years now, and it's the worst ever year I've known. Unfortunately, due to lockdown, people are at home more, and they're looking for companion animals to take up the time. I don't know why my accent is Australian right now. I'm supposed to be in the UK. Oh, let me switch gears here. Sadly, the criminals capitalized on this. It's pushed the price of dogs and puppies up in general, which has inadvertently sparked a high rise in dog thefts. Unfortunately, in lockdown, everyone wanted a dog, and the prices went up and up. The criminals looked at these figures and put 2 and 2 together. Yes, they did. They put 2 and 2 together, and they said, you know what? We're going to get us some chalk. It's a very low-def approach to the whole thing. We're going to get some chalk and write, dog lives here, on the sidewalk in front of all the houses. See if they can figure out what's going on. Very sad to lose your companion during the worst year in history. Jonesy, this is not the worst year in history. After all, there was something called the Black Plague. Yes, you're right. That was pretty bad. I'm sure there was many years worse than this one. I'm being very insensitive to history now. I apologize. Also, the year that Prince died was pretty sad. I was very upset about Prince dying. That was a pretty bad year. Jonesy, are you serious? Yeah, I love Prince, okay? I do. I love Prince. I love Michael Jackson. I was very sad when they passed away. The article goes on and on, interviewing people that have had dogs stolen, and it's just breeders, People that work jobs and leave the dog home alone all day. They come home, the dog's not there. I mean, it's just people doing drive-bys, snatching your dog right out of your hands. I mean, it's just terrible. People are suffering as it is. What does that tell me, though? Just watch your dog, man. Double up the leash. I don't know what you got to do. Get one of those. Don't do those cheap leashes is what you should really do to begin with. That's a very easy fix. You get a really strong leash. Something, not that little wire. You know the one that's like a little tiny wire? That's like awful. Don't do that. Here I am giving dog protection advice here on a podcast. Never thought I'd be doing that. Anyways, I hope I'm helpful. And, if you got a dog, just really hold on to the damn thing, huh? You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. British Airways investigates a stewardess selling sex between flights. British Airways is looking into claims that a mystery stewardess is advertising for sex in between flights. The air hostess is thought to entice clients by taking racy shots of her uniform mid-air and sharing them on social media. She is also believed to be selling her knickers online and offering, quote, onboard adult entertainment to anyone willing to pay. How? How is she doing that? In the middle of the flight? Like other people can see this. It says between flights, though. What do you meet them somewhere in the airport? I don't understand. We need more information. It says here, one shot shows the stewardess hitching up her skirt in the galley kitchen, while another shows her in the toilets wearing only tights with the caption, no panties on Sundays. Well, then you know who she is, right? Or is she? Oh, she's going anonymously on Instagram. I'm looking at the photos. I mean, you can't tell who it is, obviously. I don't know how you find this person. Ooh, you must go undercover. That's what you do. You go undercover on a flight, and you have her meet you in the bathroom or the galley kitchen. And then, bam, gotcha! She's using the name Air Hostess 71 on her blog. The crew member says, you will need to pay a securing fee of £50 to meet. Prices vary depending on the requested meet. No negotiating, it says. If I have booked a hotel for work, the meet will take place there, London. Oh, she's saying in between flights, she actually leaves the airport with you or meets you somewhere outside of the airport. Now we're piecing it together. Here's another quote. If you ever want adult entertainment on board, all you have to do is give me a sum of money and you'll be treated to a whole different experience of your choice. What, does she take you to the plane after hours? She has access to a plane all alone? Or she's going to somehow get on your flight? How does this work? I'm so confused. She's been charging £25 for a pair of her knickers. Knickers, I believe, is the silliest word in the world for underwear. Even underwear is a silly word, but it's still way better than knickers. It also says she's happy to meet punters overseas if she is away with work. What the heck is a punter? I mean, from what I understand, a punter is a guy who kicks the ball in football. I've never heard of punter used in a different way. We're learning about languages in this racy article. Here's another quote. She says, you would need to book another hotel for protection and privacy. Okay, I get that you can meet at a hotel outside the plane, but how is she doing this on board? An employee of the airline told the media, she is clearly prostituting herself and boosting her business by using photos taken on board British Airways planes. She's wearing the airline uniform, and there's no doubt she's a stewardess. It is shocking. It is a shocking dereliction of duty and not the image that British Airways wants of its cabin crew, of course. Another crew member was more sympathetic, pointing out that times have been tough. Yeah. Hey, look, man, times have been tough for people in the airline industry, many of whom have had pay cuts. You know, they're just trying to make it up on the side, just trying to make that payback. They warn that the stewardess is placing herself in great danger, though, by advertising services this way. Of course she is. But, I mean, some people are desperate. Desperate times cause for desperate measures. She obviously is not paid enough by British Airways. And therefore, this is what you get. This is what you get. Pay your employees or you get photos of pantyhose in the cabin. This is what you get. Air Hostess 71, if you guys are trying to follow at home. I think it's just limited to British Airways. I don't know if she works on other flights, but I suppose you could DM her and find out. I still don't know how this is going to go down on board the plane, but she might be very crafty. You don't know. You don't know. She might find a way to get you down into the luggage compartment, and then the shit can go down there. I mean, I don't know. I just implore you that if you're going to use such services, please be very careful. There's a pandemic going around, all right? You don't want to have an STD and the corona, do you? Come on, be smart.
Yay!
Hey, thanks for listening to Weird AF News and supporting me however you might have. I know some of you have left reviews of the show. Some of you have joined the Patreon, and I appreciate all of you for chipping in during the holiday season. If you'd like to support the show in other ways, you can recommend it to a friend as well. I know you're going to run into family members and friends this holiday season. And if they happen to ask what podcast you're listening to, just mention Weird AF News. That's all. Give it a chance. Let them know that it's a little better than mainstream news, which really makes you want to jump off a bridge, doesn't it? Yeah, makes me want to jump off a bridge. I did get a review that I want to read for you. It's from Christy on Amazon. She gave me 3 stars and wrote, "Okay, but just the facts, Jack." She wrote, "I love WTF News," which I'm not sure what that is. I think that must be a different podcast. Anyways, she wrote, "But the rumblings are just too much. Jonesy could add 2 or more stories instead of the persistent, annoyingly long rambles." Oh, I apologize, Christy. This podcast probably isn't for you, though. It's my rambling about the stories that makes it unique. So that we're going to keep doing that. I apologize. You can always, of course, just read the weird news yourself if you'd like. That doesn't come with any rambling at all. There's weird news websites all over the place, and you can just read the articles. But thank you for giving me the 3 stars and leaving a review nonetheless. I appreciate the feedback, and the fact that you left me 3 stars is really nice. I appreciate that because most of the time when I get a review that's not too positive, it's just 1 star. So thank you for the 3. I appreciate that, Christy. Happy holidays to you and your family. We got some people that joined the Patreon that I want to give some shout outs to, big time. We have someone named Danny Jagger, or Jager, or it could be Jaeger. Jaeger. I bet you they call Danny the Jägermeister. Is that your nickname? I'd be very, very interested in finding that out. So please write me. Thank you, Danny Jager, Jaeger, for joining the Patreon. So appreciate it. And what a cool name. Also, Dreams Are Real 710 joined the Patreon as well. I don't know who this is. Dreams Are Real 710. But I think they're onto something. I think dreams, sometimes they're real, right? Sometimes they are real. But also sometimes nightmares are real, right, guys? Right? Like that year 2020. Wow, what a nightmare. But I want to thank you, Dreams Are Real 710, for joining the Patreon. I so appreciate the support. Danny and Dreams Are Real, please enjoy the extra content that lies therein. It's weird stuff. Weird bonus episodes and whatnot. You can download my comedy album for free. You can download the Alligators Everywhere song as an MP3 as well. There's some cool stuff in there. And you get the great feeling knowing that you're supporting a 5-day-a-week weird news podcast. One of a kind, really. I don't know of any other weird news podcasts that are doing it this much. You know, I mean, you can find the once a month and the once a week one. But man, we're giving it 5 days a week, guys. 5 days a week, putting the work in. So thanks for the support. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to reach out to the show, the phone number is 646-450-2012. Email me, funnyjones@gmail.com. I did get some emails, too. Maybe I pump out a couple of these before we get out of here. Let's see. We got an email from Peter Honetschlager, who wrote, "Hey, Jonesy, my name is Peter. It's December 1st in South Dakota. We have no snow on the ground. We have had snow, but it melted in a few days. 2020 got everything messed up. What color is the zone that you live in?" Oh, my zone? I think it's purple. "Thank you for doing your show. Listen every morning before I go to work. Have a great day." You have a great day too, Peter. Thanks for the email. That was really encouraging. I really appreciate that. Unbelievable. Also, I heard from Sasha Rotanova. She's all the way from Novosibirsk, or she's from Novosibirsk, which was the place that was featured in a story I did yesterday about the penis ice rink. She wrote, "Hi, Jonesy. Just heard an episode about the penis-shaped ice rink in Novosibirsk, Russia. This is so cool to hear news from my hometown. Thank you. Why didn't I think about sending you this last year?" Then it says, "Thanks for Weird AF News. This makes my early mornings way better. Sasha Rotanova." Thank you, Sasha. I'm so glad to make your mornings way better. And it says, "Currently living in SC." Is that South Carolina? So you're now living in the States? I was wondering how somebody from Russia could have found my show. I don't think I have any listeners in Russia, do I? Anybody listening in Russia? Anybody? Can anybody? Can I go visit you and go to you take me to the penis-shaped ice skating rink? That'd be incredible. Thank you for the email, Sasha. Appreciate that. I love to hear from listeners of the show. Of course, my email is funnyjones@gmail.com. As you know, it's very easy. Yes, you can find it and you can send me a message. I love you very much. See you tomorrow.